Gold is pulling back this week following the weekly breakdown of that 2025 trend line we talked about recently. We also got a nice short opportunity from that 33.40 area. So I'll have details in today's video about a potential opportunity coming up here over the coming days, because gold right now, the price action, even though it's very sideways, the price action has been ideal for some swing trades on the intraday charts. So looking at XAUUSD here on the daily time frame, you can see where we have this trend line here from the lows back here in January of this year. So this is the 2025 trend line that we've talked about. You can see several touches off of this area here with these lows. And looking at the daily chart here recently, this is what I talked about recently here for gold, where we did get a day closing above this area. In fact, 2 days closing above here. However, what you had to be careful of, and we talked about this in VIP, is that if you look here at the weekly and you move this line here, so it's up across these lows, so specifically this one right back here, what we actually had here was gold breaking down on the weekly. So this breakdown here, we had the retest last week as new resistance. So gold never got back above this on the weekly chart. Therefore, this is a weekly breakdown. Okay, so with that in mind, we do have gold pulling back so far this week. Not severely, but we do have, a slight downtrend on the intraday chart. So if we look at something like the 1 hour time frame, you can see here that this retest up here at 33.40 in this blue level that you see here, this dotted line, this was the single print that I mentioned in the weekly forecast. And single prints like this tend to serve as magnets for a price. So the last time we talked about it, the market was down here in this area, closing, the week below that 2025 trend line. So what I said in the weekly forecast was that off of this low, this area through here would be resistance. You can see a nice retest. The market cleaned up that single print there, which, we typically see in ranging markets like this. And then we got that breakdown and then move down here toward the lows. Now, we talked about this in VIP, but you can see here off of these recent highs and lows, we do have gold moving within this really nice descending channel here on the hourly chart. Okay, so as long as this is the case, guys, I'm looking for more of the same. And you can see gold coming off this low here, which again, I announced this in VIP as well, that we could get the market moving up here toward this area around 33.17, potentially up toward about 33.22, followed by a rotation lower. And again, there's no guarantee that we see gold continue to move lower here. But as long as the market is within this channel, we have to respect the chart. Okay, we can't just assume that the market is going to break out up here, because until we have that confirmed breakout, we have to expect more of the same here, which is a ranging market and really trending lower since the high up here. Okay, so a downtrend right now for gold here. Although again, with the market coming off of this support, I do think that we are likely to see, in fact, the market's getting pretty close to it now, that area around 33.17, which is a single print here following this breakdown. So imbalance through here, guys, following the breakdown right around 33.17, this 6D comp val. Okay, what that means is a 6-day composite value area low for gold here. And what that means is that if you take a look at the TPO, the time price opportunity, and take a look at the last 6 days, okay, each profile, if you merge all of those together, what you get is a value area low for those 6 days right through here around 33.22. So that could be significant, because what you'll also notice is that if we take our fibs here from this high up here down here to the recent low, look where the 618 comes in, right there around 33.20. Okay, so that's going to be a significant area as well here for gold. So you've got this single print up here, this buy side single print that is probably going to be filled here in the next few hours. And then you've also got this area up here, this 6-day composite value area low around 33.22. You've also got the top of that channel, and you've also got this 618 fib. Okay, so there's a lot going on up here, guys, to where if we see gold come into this region, then we could see a rotation lower develop from this area. Now, of course, the alternative there is that if we see gold finally break out from this, okay, so fill this, retest here, and just consolidate lower and then break out, then that, of course, would, put gold in a more bullish stance here, back here towards some of these highs. Okay, because we've also got to keep in mind that when we look at the DXY, and the DXY tends to move inversely to gold, right? You can see where the market is coming off that 97.7 area here for the DXY on the daily chart that we've talked about for really months. Okay, even before the market broke down in June, we were talking about 97.7 as key support back here. It broke down in June. So that is going to be resistance now for the US dollar. Okay, so looking at this here, you can see that, and by the way, guys, if you are struggling with your trading, be sure to join us in VIP for real-time chat. See the link in the description of this video for 85% off your lifetime access to our group. You're going to get real-time chat, exclusive videos every single week. You're also going to get the course that I put out on how to trade fake outs. All right, so check out that link. If you're on the website, click on the join VIP link. Looking here though at the DXY, you've got this trend line here off these lows ever since the high back here in February of 2025, several touches off of this level. Okay, now back here, gold never broke out. It never broke out from here. Every single time, closing the day below this level. Once again, yesterday retested it as resistance. Today also selling off from that area. And furthermore, like we talked about recently, this here is the bottom of that level from 2011, okay? The bottom of that channel. And so this is going to be a significant resistance area for the US dollar. And that is why we are seeing gold start to break higher here from this support level down here. Okay, so again, we've got this single print up here around 33.17. 33.22 is going to be that resistance area. And if we see a breakout from there, then that would be bullish for gold. If we see, however, a rejection from here, okay, some bearish price action from this region following the retest, then that could trigger that next move down here toward these lows around 32.65. So keep in mind that on the weekly, again, we do have gold breaking down from that 2025 trend line. That could hold up. As long as that's the case, then we have lower highs and lower lows here on the intraday charts. However, at the same time, you've got the DXY coming into this resistance area here. Okay, so, gold, knowing that gold and the US dollar tend to be inversely correlated, this little pullback here so far today, this is why we're seeing gold rally from that support. Okay, so if we see the DXY start to climb back above here and base above areas like 97.7, then that could be bearish for gold. However, if the US dollar here, the DXY, starts to fail back below areas like this through here around 97.40, then that of course could be more bullish for gold. Okay, so keep an eye on the DXY here. But this is a tricky area right now for the DXY because you've got resistance up here that we've talked about and closing that gap from back here. Okay, so clearly resistance for the DXY. No surprise that we're seeing this pullback. But at the same time, like I said recently, this too could also turn into a reclaim here, where we get this rounded bottom here for the DXY, reclaiming areas like this. We haven't seen it yet. I'm not saying it will happen, but it could happen here over the coming days. So just something to keep an eye on here for the DXY and also how that relates to gold. But for now, guys, we have a very sideways market here for gold with a single print up here that could serve as a magnet in the short term around 33.17. You've got that composite area around 33.22 and also the top of that channel. Okay, so right now, guys, in my opinion, this is kind of no man's land. In my opinion, you don't really want to trade through here. If anything, you're looking for buys down here or potential shorts from up here, but only if we get the right price action. And if you're wondering what that right price action is, be sure to join us on VIP because we're talking about this stuff every single day in real time. All right, guys, hope the videos helped. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, click the like button, and also join us in VIP. Check out that link in the description. I will talk to you guys tomorrow.